Welcome, everybody. Welcome back to the Cabral HouseCalls, the weekend edition of the Cabral Concept. Excited to open up the Community Ask Cabral document, find out what questions have come in over the past few weeks, and answer 5 of those questions today. And of course, we'll be back tomorrow answering 5 more. So all things health, wellness, anti-aging, high performance health, we're going to answer those right now. Let's dive right in. First question today is from Whitney. Whitney says, hello. Wondering if you still think the best water setup would be the Kangen K8 attached to the AquaTrue under the sink filter. I'm reading that the Kangen relies on minerals in the water, which the AquaTrue filters out. I know the newest filter adds some back in, but not sure how much. I have the Kangen K8 in both the AquaTrue countertop I use now in the undersink AquaTrue unopened that came free with the Kangen years ago. Can I install the Kangen to the countertop AquaTrue? I rent and don't want to overcomplicate the installation process if I don't have to, but I'm confused about how to start. And the instructions to attach the Kangen. Okay, got it. Totally understand. All right. So here's what I want to share with you. I always share exactly what I do. And I always tell you the truth in these products. So I still believe to date, there is no better hydrogen water machine than the Kangen K8. No doubt about it. It's what I talk about. I have a whole page of all the testing at stephencabral.com/hydrogen-water. You can check it out. It's also at stephencabral.com/resources. So the reason I feel it's the best, it's been around for over 40 years. It is literally used in medical-based hospitals. It's the one that Hope for Cancer uses. I do the independent testing myself. So that means I get a water meter, I get an ORP meter. I'm actually testing the pH. I'm testing the ORP to make sure that it's a negative 300 or more. And that's that. Now, what's the cons of it? It doesn't really have a good water for purification system. And the truth is the machine would have to be triple the size to have that. You would need 3 big filters in there. It has 1. So here's what I do. I use an under the sink AquaTrue reverse osmosis filter. You could use a different kind, but then where the spout comes out, I just attach the hose. So the hose of the AquaTrue, of the Kangen, gets attached to your essentially reverse osmosis, and the water just flows through. And then it comes right out the cord. My daughters can use it. I use it. They fill up their own water. My dog uses 7.0. Our plants use 7.0. Cleaning is the lower pH one for countertops and all that. And then for drinking, we use 8.5 or 9.5. So, and I've just switched to basically 9.5. So it's pretty simple. It's pretty straightforward. And that's it. You can't attach the countertop one to the Kangen. It won't work because it's a pitcher, right? So the countertop AquaTrue is great. Again, all these resources are at stephencabral.com/resources, but it doesn't work that way. So it either gets attached directly to your faucet and a little bit of filtering will happen, or you can use the reverse osmosis under the sink, and it's pretty straightforward. You can disconnect it when you leave or keep it there, as well, even if you rent. And I'm sure the next person would be happy as well. So that's what I do. Hopefully that's helpful. That's still absolutely the best. And I use it in my home, and I also use it in Maine when we go there for the summer. So I'm a big believer. All right, Kelly's up next. Hi, Dr. Ball. My husband is 42 and has really cleaned up his act over the past 5 years. No tobacco use, exercise bike 30 minutes daily, 10,000 steps, and clean eating. A year and a half ago, he went in to see a doctor with right side pain. X-rays showed backed up stool. Since then, he's been on stool softeners and had a colonoscopy. In July, he did a 14-day detox and felt sick most of the time. The DNS made him nauseous and he was in pain, but was willing to try anything. Today, he's still having right side pain under his right rib cage, mostly in the front, but does spread down to the back now. This month, he had an ultrasound, endoscopy, and HIDA scan. Colonoscopy, ultrasound, and endoscopy were completely normal. His HIDA scan showed 71% fraction and minor reflux. All blood work shows liver is healthy. Help. Okay. Well, one important part of this is that I don't know when he's having the pain under the right side of his rib cage. So pain under the right side of the rib cage can be the gallbladder. It can be the liver. It can be poor digestive capacity with breaking down fats, or it can be where the stomach empties into the first part of the duodenum as well. And then bile may not be meeting stomach acid properly. Now, again, I don't know when he's experiencing this, but if it was directly after a food, of course, I would be using 2 to 3 digestive enzymes, daily digestive enzymes before the meal, 10 minutes, 15 minutes before the meal. And then if it's a complicated protein meal, if that's mainly when he gets it, then I'd be taking probably if you need to, betaine HCl and pepsin basically mid-meal, but we usually don't use those, only if needed. You could try hot ginger tea with the meal, a tablespoon or two of apple cider vinegar, and about 6 ounces of room temp water to consume with a meal. So that's typically where we start. If it's the daily nutritional support that's making him nauseous, it is possible that he just doesn't do well with all the vitamins and minerals all at once. And so an interesting test would be this: have something like oatmeal, or just put some food in your stomach first, then drink the DNS. I would love to see if that takes away the nausea. If so, it just might be some of the vitamins and minerals. That it's rare, but again, anything's possible, right? So that could be a possibility as well. Write back in if I didn't answer your question. If you want to write in with more specifics, I'm always happy to help. All right, David's up next. Hi, Dr. Cabral. I hope you're well. Same to you, David. I noticed you recently launched Cellforce, Advanced Cellforce, an enhanced creatine product. In 2021, I recall you saying that you were not going to be taking creatine since it had been shown to promote hair loss, which convinced to leave it out of my personal protocol, despite the cognitive cellular health benefits. I'm curious what has changed in terms of new studies, your perspective on its benefits, and anything else that informed your pivot to not only take it, but to create your own. I know you had a challenging hair growth journey, so I doubt you would ingest something that would put that at risk without considerable due diligence. Beyond what the studies are saying, I'm interested in what you are seeing in clinical practice in your own life. Yeah, that's what this is all about. So no, you're right. And it was about 5 years ago. Has it been that long already? 4 to 5 years ago. You're right. Now, but I just want to add one clarification. And remember, I talk all day so much, so many words come out of my mouth. And so always feel free to write in and be like, hey, can you clarify this? But I never said that creatine was not a great product and didn't have a lot of efficacy and didn't work for the majority of people. However, maybe 1%, maybe it's a greater number, some men absolutely experience hair loss when taking creatine. And you'll hear people say, oh, that's not true. Even when you look at the studies, the majority of people do not experience hair loss, but some people do. Right? So it's like, yes, I agree. The majority of people do not experience hair loss when taking creatine. It is the vast minority. It might only be single digits in percentage, just like 10 to 20% might experience some bowel distress, especially when getting used to it. So you might want to start at a smaller dosage. My issue was 4 or 5 years ago, I was dealing with massive hair loss. I lost 50% of the hair on my head, and it wasn't from taking creatine. It was actually from viral-based issues, and I naturally have higher testosterone. I don't take any hormones or peptides or anything like that, but I convert a good amount to dihydrotestosterone. And so some men convert a little bit more testosterone to dihydrotestosterone, good for muscle building, great for energy, mood, all of those things, but not so great for the hair and sometimes the prostate as well. So having said that, I don't make products just for myself. I make them for our community and what we need. So the new Advanced Cellforce has creatine, 5 grams, has citrulline malate, amazing for nitric oxide production, has taurine, great antioxidant, also great for detoxification, and has trimethylglycine, which is amazing for the heart and homocysteine levels, right? So like, that's why I made it, because it's a great product that combines a lot of things I was already using. So you're right. I started using creatine about a year ago now. And it is a product that does no longer, at the state that I'm in right now, seems to cause any hair loss for me. So what I will say is this: I started back at just 2.5 grams a day, and then I increased it to 5. I haven't had any issues. My recommendation is if you try a product and it's the only new variable and you start losing a little bit more hair, understand that sometimes it's a possibility, and so you stop the product. Now, the nice thing is when you stop creatine, the hair loss typically stops as well. I haven't seen anybody where it doesn't not stop. So from a clinical practice, I can tell you it's rare, but it does happen, regardless of what a lot of studies say. All right, hopefully that was helpful, David. Lauren's up next. Lauren says, hi, Dr. Cabral. I completed the CBO protocol last year and I feel amazing. The main difference was a sense of hunger control. I no longer indulge, and I consistently woke up the same weight that I went to bed. This lasted for months, and I felt like I had a new relationship with food. I slipped back to where I had been and gained weight, more hungry, and fluctuated bedtime weight. I took the food sensitivity test and have a pretty long list of mild sensitivities. 3 high legumes, so my coach suggested I do the limited CBO protocol along with an elimination diet. I think that's a great recommendation. I'm almost 1 month into limited CBO, and I feel like I'm in control again. Oh, it sounds like you had some yeast or bacterial regrowth. My question is, why does the CBO protocol do this for me? I like to understand the why of things so that I can keep the habit. Thanks. Okay. Yeah. So what the CBO protocol does, if people aren't familiar, we've used this. I don't know if it's been used 100,000 times, but it's a lot. It's a lot. We have thousands of practitioners using this in their practice as well. It took me many years to develop this. It is to optimize the levels of yeast and fungal and candida in your gut, as well as bacterial overgrowth. So it does a fantastic job. Of course, I have to say, any answers I give you, there is no medical advice, medical treatments, medical cures, medical diagnosis on any of my podcasts, and of course, never will be. All right, so we're just talking as friends. And what I wanted to share with you is that it is possible that with some of the indulgent, maybe more indulgent eating, or if you're not maintaining with a good quality probiotic like the clean gut probiotic or the daily probiotic support, or you're not moving your bowels enough, any number of things could allow that fungus or bacteria to regrow. You shouldn't have to keep repeating it, that's for sure. But I do agree that modified CBO protocol was a good recommendation by your coach, and that's helping to rebalance that gut flora. Now, let's just use the healthy gut support, and let's use the daily probiotic support or clean gut probiotic, which might be even better for you to maintain those results. All right? All right, Harry, it's our last question of the day. Hi there. Hope you're well. I ordered some lab tests around July, August, and due to a number of reasons, I was able to complete the testing. I would think it probably says I was not able to complete the testing. Okay, took a vacation, visa renewal, totally get it. I believe I've registered both tests, the hair and the inflammation, and would like to confirm I'm okay to complete these tests before cutting a hair sample. Thank you, Harry. Okay, so everybody, just want you to know, if you order an at-home lab test from Equilife, it is valid for 6 months. All right, totally valid, 6 months. So you are all good, Harriet. It is now November. So that's August, September, October, November. You're 4 months in. You've got 2 more months to go before it's no longer valid. So let's get that in there. Of course, if you ran an Equilife lab, it's been a couple months, not 6 months yet. You haven't done it yet. Mail it in, complete it. Be great. You'll get your results before the end of the new year. You'll have a new plan ready to go. And as always, if there's any questions, you can always ask those questions at support@equi.life. They're happy to answer all these lab questions and many more. Thank you so much, everybody. I appreciate you. I thank you. I'll be back tomorrow answering more questions from our Cabral community. Take care.